Hi everyone, and thanks for joining us today for another installment of our social recruiting webinars. Our topic today is finding top talent with Facebook and Twitter recruitment strategies. All of the other webinars in this series are posted on our website, so go ahead and check them out. It's employers.identified.com/events. I'm Jen Picard, the Product Marketing Director here at Identified, and I'm joined by Eric Kostelnik, our VP of Sales. Identified Employer Solutions are Facebook recruiting solutions for the social employer, and our tools include a Facebook job posting application and a Facebook sourcing tool. We're currently offering an intro package to all of our webinar attendees, so go ahead and indicate in the chat box if you're interested in learning more about any of our Facebook recruiting solutions. But for now, we'll go ahead and get into the key takeaways for today's presentation. This webinar should last about 30 minutes, and we'll leave 15 minutes at the end for any of your questions. So go ahead and ask anything that you are wondering about throughout the webinar by typing them into the Q&A box to your right. I think you'll actually see two boxes, one that says Q&A, one that says chat. Either one's fine. And today we're going to review how you can find talent using Facebook and Twitter. Specifically, we're going to get into how you can use Facebook and Twitter to post jobs, to source candidates, to advertise, and to showcase your employment brand. So we'll start off by discussing why Facebook and Twitter are a great addition to your recruitment strategy. As you can see from this infographic, recruiters are largely using LinkedIn to recruit, while candidates are actually using Facebook and Twitter more frequently. Additionally, job hunters are using Facebook to look for a job and then to get referrals, as well as updating their profile with personal information. And they're doing all of that on Facebook almost twice as much as they're doing the same things on LinkedIn. So what we're seeing here is a bit of a disconnect between how candidates are looking for a job and how you're trying to find them. So what we're seeing is the talent actually lives on Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn, and it's important to utilize all of these social networks to recruit. So now that we've answered the why, let's go ahead and get into the how. We'll start off by discussing employment branding on Facebook. According to Alexa, Facebook is the second most trafficked website in the world, second only to Google. While these eyes are on this site, it's a great place to showcase your employment brand and give candidates a glimpse of your company's culture. Some companies actually choose to build out a dedicated Facebook career page so that they can target their messages to job candidates and build a talent community that's separate from their main marketing or corporate page. But whether you decide to build out a dedicated page or utilize your existing one, there are still several ways to showcase your employment brand on your timeline. So the first thing you want to do is update your visuals, which includes your cover image, your profile picture, and any of your photo albums so that they represent your employment brand. Photos and videos get the most engagement on Facebook, and you should use this fact to your advantage by showcasing company outings, videos explaining why your coworkers love their jobs, or funny photos of your coworkers. This all gets job seekers involved in your company and shows them kind of a little behind-the-scenes look at what's going on in your company. You should also showcase your employment brand through your other content and draw attention to your important updates with pinned and starred posts. If you don't know what these are, you should check out our last webinar, not our last one, a couple of webinars ago. We did Understanding the New Facebook Timeline, and that's when these features were introduced. Essentially, a pinned post will stay at the top of your page for about 7 days, and this space is best used to draw attention to something your company is really proud of. So let's say that you were named one of the top employers of the year. I think that's something that gives you some really good bragging rights, and you should definitely use the space to promote that. You can also star your important posts, which will make them more prominent on your page because they'll expand to take up the entire width of your timeline. So most of them only take up about half of your timeline. This will spread across both columns and really make your post stand out. So while you can only have one pinned post, that's the one that's at the top for 7 days, you can have several starred posts. And they'll remain in chronological order, and they will never become unstarred unless you physically unstar them yourself. So you can use this space to promote some press articles about your company, maybe your job postings. A great example I've seen, a company created a starred post out of a video of the hiring manager explaining what the hiring manager is looking for an ideal candidate. And they've included input from other people in the department and then added a job description, which essentially makes each of your job postings double as an employment branding post as well. Once you've set up your employment brands through your visuals, you should also invite your coworkers to interact with your posts. A lot of companies are still not allowing their employees on social media for somewhat obvious reasons, but a lot of companies are starting to realize the positive impacts of having their employees on social media. And one of those positive impacts is that anything your employees do on social media, anytime they interact with your page, it shows up as an activity on their timeline and shares your message with all of their networks as well. So it increases your reach, which is fantastic. So if you had a great holiday party, or if your company has celebrated a really important milestone lately, post it on your timeline, ask your employees to comment on it, and maybe they share their favorite moments or let's say some funny stories that they had from the events. And this is a really great way to get candidates behind the scenes of what your company is doing, because your company's employees are your most credible source in terms of building out your employment brand, and you should encourage them to contribute to spreading the word about your company and how great it is to work there. The final step to building your employment brand on Facebook is to monitor what others are saying about it. So you want to set email notifications and watch your timeline and reply as appropriate. So most brands here will determine what's appropriate based on their social media guidelines for the company. For example, Identified's company guidelines include, if somebody has posted something and it's misinformation, you can go ahead and correct them. But if somebody's just complaining and just shouting out just to see who's listening, we usually try and forward that to our PR team who manages those pages so that they can decide if it's appropriate to respond or not. So you don't always just want to ask people to be quiet. Sometimes you want to respond to them, and sometimes people don't really need a response. They're just angry about something, and it's not a huge deal all the time. And everybody's entitled to their own opinion, too. So Facebook shows people what their friends have said about your company right on your page, whether it's positive or negative. And obviously this can make or break your employment brand. So if people see social proof that their friends like you and that their friends are interacting with you, then they in turn are more likely to like you and interact with you as well. And this is actually really great for advertising. So let's go ahead and get into advertising on Facebook. According to Alexa, oh, no, that's the one we already did. Advertising and social media in general can help you find candidates who might not otherwise apply. For example, at Manpower, 218 people have checked in on Facebook. When any of these 218 people's friends go to Manpower's page, they can see that their friend has checked in there, and they might ask them what they thought of Manpower as a staffing agency. This could either be a client or a candidate. And they also would probably ask if they would recommend working with them. Statistics show that 90% of people actually trust their peer recommendations. So Manpower would be smart to encourage more people to check in at their offices and potentially run a Facebook check-in sponsored story so that friends of people who have checked in will see an ad telling them which of their friends have been there. Since the average Facebook user has 130 friends, they could reach well over 28,000 people this way, which would certainly help them get more clients and candidates. Companies may also choose to run a page-like story or a post-like story so that anytime someone likes a page or likes the page's post, their entire network will see an ad about it, encouraging them to also like the page or post. Page post stories have to be your own, meaning they have to be content that you've created. You can't use something that somebody else has written on your wall, but there is a way to get around it. So let's say somebody writes something absolutely fantastic on your wall and you want to share with everybody, what I'd recommend doing is to take a screenshot of that post and post it on your page as yourself, as a picture. And this gives you more exposure because photos will show to twice as many people. And then you also have the ability to pin it, to star it, and to advertise that post, which is really great. So definitely share any of your positive feedback that you get from candidates, or if you're a staffing company, the feedback you get from your clients. Now, also, if you have the budget, Facebook added a new premium advertising option, which has been called the Reach Generator. I haven't actually gotten into this tool very much yet, but apparently it will show your sponsored stories to 75% of your fan base each month, and that's guaranteed by Facebook. This is supposedly a pretty expensive option. It's a fixed fee rather than a cost per click, but I've heard that it might be more cost-effective for smaller companies. So if you're really looking just to get the word out about your company and not necessarily to get people to click through, this could be a really positive way for you to just spread your employment brand around and show people that you're hiring in general. You can also run some more traditional ads on Facebook, but with hyper-targeting. So if anybody's run ads on LinkedIn, then you'll see this is very similar. You can filter your audience by age, by location. If you're looking for people that work for your competitors, you can filter your audience by the company that they work at. You can also go by interests, which is something you cannot do on LinkedIn. Basically, this is really a great option if, let's say, you're a travel company and you want to hire somebody that is interested in travel. So you can target by interests and therefore drive traffic to a specific web page or just build awareness of your employment brand in general. Now, Facebook allows you to pay per click or per 1,000 impressions. And basically, when you pay per impressions, that's generally a better fit for just general awareness campaigns, while cost per click is a better choice if you'd like to get clicks, obviously. So, for example, if you choose to pay per click to drive traffic to your job postings. An important thing to know is that Facebook users don't like to be taken off Facebook. So if you're trying to get people to click through to your job postings, you should send them to a page that's within Facebook. Otherwise, they'll likely bounce if you send them to an external page. Facebook also incents advertisers to send users to a Facebook page by lowering the cost per click for that. So let's go ahead and look at some of the different ways to post jobs on Facebook, some paid, some not. Over 18 million Americans have said that Facebook got them their current job. That's huge. This is likely due to a variety of factors. I'd say probably a combination of getting referrals from their friends and family, either advertising themselves on Facebook or responding to a Facebook job advertisement, and then, of course, the job postings. So with all of the eyes on Facebook, we have to remember that it's the second most trafficked site in the world. It makes sense to post your jobs on the platform so that the 80% of people that are looking for work on Facebook, that's referencing a couple of slides ago, so the people that are looking for work on Facebook don't have to leave this site to see if you have any opportunities that they'd be interested in. The best way to post jobs on Facebook is through utilizing a job posting application right on your business page. So whether you have a Facebook career page or just a regular corporate page, you can create a social job board on that page where candidates can search and apply for jobs directly on Facebook. Identified has a tool called Talent Link that does this, and it allows you to share your jobs across your various social networks, including LinkedIn and Twitter. And then it also sends those job postings to the major aggregators like Indeed and Simply Hired to help you expand your reach. I did a study a couple of months ago and found that the companies that were using the social sharing features within the tool saw a 23% increase in job views, and aggregators increased job views by nearly 300%, which is really fantastic. So basically getting a ton of extra traffic to our clients' pages. We're offering a couple of promotions around Talent Link right now if you're interested. including a 7-day free trial or a 4-month trial, which also includes access to our Facebook sourcing tool, ProSearch. So if you're interested in either of those, go ahead and write us an email at sales@identified.com, and we'll have one of our account executives follow up with you immediately following the webinar. There are also a couple of free ways for you to post jobs on Facebook. Not all of these will be as effective as the job posting application just because it has so many added features in it, but they are still a great way for beginners to get their feet wet. So you can post your jobs directly to your personal Facebook profile is your first option here. And you can choose whether you want to share those job posts with your entire network or just a select group of friends, perhaps your list of job candidates. If you don't know how to create lists, go ahead and check out our webinar, How to Recruit on Facebook, and we'll walk you through that process. It's pretty simple, but it's easier to see it being done live than to try and read about it. If you are going to use your personal Facebook profile to post, you can include up to 60,000 characters in the post, which I think they say is about an eighth or a ninth of a novel, so it's pretty lengthy. It might sound like a really great feature, but I'm going to recommend that you don't make a post that long. It's going to take too much space in your friends' news feeds, and they'll likely unfriend you for kind of clogging up their page. You can also post jobs to your company page for free. So again, this is whether you have a career page or a corporate page. And what you should do if you have a career page is follow the 80-20 rule to keep your talent community engaged. So that means you don't ever want to share your job postings more than 20% of the time. And then you want to spend the other 80% of the time sharing other helpful information. So one page that I really liked, who was that? I think it might have been HP that has a dedicated career page, and they don't actually post any jobs to their page at all. What they do is they always just provide really helpful information for professionals. So, how to ask for a promotion, how to switch careers, basically articles that would be helpful for anybody that's reading them, whether they're job seeking or not. And that way, when they are looking for a job, they see the post from HP Careers and say, oh, I wonder if they're hiring. I'm going to check out their page and see if they have any jobs posted. And while they won't be directly on that wall, most job seekers know to go to that Facebook job posting application. If you are going to post jobs, try to use an image or a video along with your job posting whenever possible. So for example, you can do a video interview with someone in the hiring department. We talked about this earlier, maybe the person currently in the job or the hiring manager, and then post the interview with the job title and the description. You might also want to highlight your job openings with the pinned and starred posts that we discussed earlier. You should know that anything posted to your Facebook page will only show to about 20% of your fans. I think the exact number from Facebook is 16 or 17%. So you should have a solid following which interacts with your content in order to get the best results. And you should also encourage your fans to interact with your content. So when they like it, share it, and comment on it, it not only increases your reach to their network that sees that they've done these actions, but it also keeps Facebook showing your posts to them because they think that your posts are relevant to that specific person. So those are the 20% that it usually shows to, the ones that Facebook thinks actually want to receive your updates because they've engaged with it. Another free way to post jobs is the Facebook Marketplace. I am a little hesitant to talk about this because I haven't actually heard of anybody that's had success with it, including Identified. But there's nothing wrong with experimenting. If you have a little bit of extra time, you might be successful. Maybe just try posting a variety of jobs here to see if any of them get applications. Because social recruitment is all about trying new things to try and see how you can be more successful in finding great candidates. Just make sure that you're learning from your trials and that you continue with your successful tactics and then, obviously eliminating those that are less successful. You may also find that you have the most success with Facebook as a sourcing tool. So our free tool, Identified.com, allows users to search through their first-degree connections as well as identified users. I'm not sure of the exact number, but I believe we've indexed about 400 million Facebook profiles out of the 901 million that they currently have, and we've made them professionally relevant. We've also given them a score so that you can see who the top candidates are. There is some basic sorting and filtering available, and it could be a nice free tool. So, I'd highly recommend that everybody sign up for it just to kind of see who you might be able to find as a referral hire. But what you'll really probably find more success with is our paid tool, ProSearch. It has a lot better filtering and sorting in it. And it's really the tool that was created for recruiters. The other tool is not created for recruiters. So ProSearch is our Facebook sourcing tool. It allows you to search Facebook profiles with advanced filtering and ranking and relevance. Some of the filters include location, graduation year, company, industry, basically anything that you would find on LinkedIn Recruiter. You can also download resumes, you can message candidates, and you can see how you're connected to the candidates through your company's employees. So for example, let's say you run a search for a marketing director with 5 years of experience that lives in San Francisco. You might see, let's say we pull up 20,000 people. You can go through and sort them by score, and then you can look in their profiles and see if they know anybody at your company, and that way you can ask that person for a referral. You can say, hey, Susie Q, I saw that you know this marketing director at this company. We were interested in having them in for an interview. Would you recommend this person for our company? And then you can get that referral. So it's a really great tool. It's a really great way to get internal referrals. It's a great way to find passive candidates. So if you're interested in a demo of this, go ahead and let us know. We just launched a beta program last month so we can get feedback from everybody about the future of the tool and what's going to help everybody be most successful in their jobs. And so we're offering a 4-month trial of both ProSearch and TalentLink together. So go ahead and send an email to sales@identified.com if you're interested in that. So let's go ahead and move on to Twitter now. Now, Twitter 2012, this is a great infographic here. As you can see, there are 175 million tweets every day, which means, that's a lot of noise there. How do you stand out as an employer? We're finding that a Twitter brand page can help you start the conversations around your company, giving you another medium to interact with potential employees. So, a lot of recruiters tend to have their own personal recruitment handles, but we're recommending that you set up one for your company as well for employment branding. Twitter doesn't offer quite as many ways to showcase your employment brand as Facebook, but there may be more opportunities than you think. So we'll go ahead and start with the visuals. Twitter allows you to customize your entire look and feel with custom background image and customized colors to match your brand. You can also upload a small profile image, which should be your logo or your icon. Just make sure that it's big enough so that when people are looking at it in their newsfeed, they can actually decipher what your company is. It's a pretty common mistake that we see on both Twitter and Facebook, actually. So just check them both out when you get a chance. The next place you can use to showcase your employment brand on Twitter is the bio. So there's space for 160 characters. And we'd recommend that you use the space to let the viewer know that you're hiring. Include a link to your job posting, so whether that's your ATS, your career site, or your Facebook job posting application. And then give them a taste of your employment brand. Somebody that does this really well, UPS. They included their little jingle from the commercials, the one that's like, it's logistics. So as soon as you read it, I don't know about you, but I couldn't help but sing the jingle. You can also use this space to include hashtags to help people find your profile in search results. Similar to Facebook, photos and videos can be very powerful on Twitter as well. Going back to UPS as an example, they've added several videos, including a department manager explaining the goals and vision of their department and how each person contributes to the team. A separate video actually shows a sales executive explaining why he loves his job. It's really touching, and I feel like it gives the candidate a really great inside view of what it's like to be in that position. And I'm assuming that they hire quite a few sales executives actually, because they have an entire Twitter page dedicated solely to sales jobs. But both of these videos really give the brand a personality, and it helps the candidate feel like they'd be a valued member of the team rather than just another cog in the wheel. Similar to Facebook, you want to make sure that you're monitoring your brand on Twitter by setting up notifications and also running searches for your name on a regular basis. If you come across someone that's had a really great experience with your company, it's really great to retweet that message out to your followers. This should actually encourage a few other people to apply. You also want to thank people that share your job. So if somebody retweets your job or just writes a status update about it, you want to thank them for that, and then also answer questions anyone has about your company. Strong engagement with your community is the best way to build your employment brand. And with a strong employment brand, you can build a talent community on Twitter that may not be interested in an open position now, but that you can nurture for your future opportunities. So that way when you do post your jobs on Twitter, you have an active following. I'll go ahead and get into posting jobs on Twitter now, which can be a little bit tricky because you're limited to 140 characters. I don't know how many of you out there have experience writing job recs that are, a sentence long, but it can be a little bit tricky at first, but then you get the hang of it. Actually, what research has shown that your tweet is more likely to be clicked on if it's between 120 and 130 characters. So that's something to keep in mind. Try and keep them, as brief as possible. One of the big differences between posting jobs on Facebook versus posting jobs on Twitter is that Twitter will actually show all of your posts to all of your followers, so it doesn't have that algorithm that kind of weeds you out of certain people if they're not engaging with you. They just have to be signed in, and they have to scroll down enough to see your updates. So the average half-life of a tweet is about 3 hours, slightly less, which means that your tweets can really get lost in the feed. So how do you know that your followers are actually seeing your messages and that they're actually engaging with you? And how do you reach more people? And that's somewhere that hashtags come in really handy. So if you've never heard of a hashtag, it's the little pound sign that you can find on your phone. And they couple that with a keyword that people can use to find topics that they're interested in. So a hashtag can be a really effective use of space in your tweet to help you increase your reach and engage with potential candidates on Twitter. Well, a tweet on its own will only reach your network, so the people that follow you and the people to which they retweet your messages to. Hashtags allow you to reach a much larger audience that might be searching for your keywords. And you can use multiple hashtags in each tweet to get your message across. So some of the most popular ones that I recommend, say your tweet is new job posting. Make a little hashtag in front of job and a little hashtag in front of posting. You can also say we're hiring and put a hashtag in front of the word hiring to make that searchable. You might also find some hashtags that are more specific to your job posting. So if you're looking for accounting executives, you do hashtag accounting. If you are a startup, you can say hashtag startup jobs. And you want to make that all one word. Some hashtags might be more successful for your business or for a very particular type of job posting, so make sure that you track the effectiveness of each one in reaching your target audience. It's also a good idea to use a call to action in your tweets if possible. So that includes actively asking for job applications. Maybe you say, apply here or apply now, and then also asking your followers to retweet you every once in a while. So the chart that you're seeing here favors saying please RT. RT stands for retweet. So you're saying please retweet this tweet. And if you put that directly in your post, it'll increase your clicks. And it kind of just tells people what you want them to do. So you want them to retweet, you want them to apply. Tell people what you want to do, make that really clear, and then they understand what the link is that you're putting in your tweet. So try and keep these as short and sweet as possible. Probably just add in, the title that you're seeking, the URL, simple call to action, and that's it. You can leave all of the details to the URL that you're attaching in the link. Many recruiters have also had success sourcing candidates on Twitter. One of these ways is with these hashtags. So according to PayScale, recruiters are using social networks largely for sourcing applicants. There are a couple of ways to do this on Twitter. So the first one, we briefly touched on this, is a simple keyword or hashtag search for a particular term your ideal candidate would use, either in their bio or in some of their tweets. So this ensures that potential candidates are truly passionate about what they do and that they show their expertise. So if you're looking for somebody that's passionate about marketing, they're probably tweeting about marketing on their personal profile. When we were looking for a PR and social media director, we searched Twitter for hashtag PR and public relations to find people that were talking about those subjects so that we might be able to find a good match for our company. You can also use job hunt Twitter chats. Twitter chat's an open forum where people meet up at a specific time to discuss job-related issues through a live feed. Now, these usually last about an hour, and the participants use and follow a specific hashtag. So the two that I enjoy most are hashtag HFChat or hashtag JobHuntChat, which allows anyone following that hashtag to view the tweet. Others can then respond and create an online conversation with other people online. And Twitter chats have become a popular place for job hunters and recruiters to kind of meet up and discuss employment opportunities or just answer questions, figure out, what the job market looks like. Job candidates can ask the recruiter what it's like to work at the company, what the criteria are for working there, what their employees enjoy best about it. And in return, recruiters can ask potential employees what it is they're looking for in an employer, and what benefits are the most important to them. And just the exchange of information in these Twitter chats is tremendous. I'd highly recommend everybody check them out. And you can also utilize Twitter advertising to reach your recruitment goals. So let's go ahead and get into some of these promoted products they have here. So Twitter offers a few self-service ads. Three of the big ones are promoted tweets, promoted trends, and promoted accounts. A promoted tweet can be targeted to your search results or to user timelines. If you're looking to target the search results, your promoted tweet can reach users while they search for their interests on Twitter, and they'll appear at the top of the results page. Employers can target job opening tweets to relevant search terms in order to gain exposure for their open positions. And they also, you can put them in the timelines as well. So when you do a promoted tweet in the timeline, it amplifies your messages to followers or users who are similar to your followers. They'll also appear at the top of the user's timeline when they log in or when they refresh their home page. So you can choose to target your current followers, or you can target users who are similar to your followers, and you can also go by geographic targeting. You can also do a promoted account, which is a really easy way to scale your talent community. So similar to on Facebook, where you can do a page like story. So just a reminder on that one, a page like story is once somebody likes your page, you promote the story about it saying, hey, Jen Picard liked my page, and as her friend, you should like it as well. This promoted account is kind of similar, where they feature your account in the search results and within the who to follow section, and it shows to followers, it shows to your non-followers all of the users who have interests that are similar to your account, and this can also be geo-targeted. The third thing that you can do here is promoted trends. So if you've ever seen the trends box, it's just to the left of the user's timeline. and so that you can drive conversations and interest around your employer brand or to your job posting by capturing a user's attention on Twitter. Promoted Trend gets massive exposure and allows users to discover your brand and get candidates enthusiastic about working for your company. So that's it for our presentation today. Go ahead and ask any questions you have in the Q&A box to your right. In the meantime, we're going to go ahead and just do a quick recap on identified employer solutions. So identified employer solutions are Facebook recruiting solutions for the social employer, and they've been created to complement your existing recruiting strategies. So everybody's familiar with job postings and sourcing tools. It's essentially what these are: a job posting app for your Facebook company page and a sourcing tool that helps you professionalize personal Facebook connections and source through your existing network. So let's go ahead and take a look. The first one here is Talent Link. Talent Link is our Facebook job posting app for your business page. It helps you increase your job views and drive candidates to your jobs because jobs can be shared through social media. They can be pulled by aggregators and they're indexed by search engines. So it really helps increase your reach tremendously over a normal job posting. Candidates can apply directly on Facebook with a cover letter and resume, or the app can integrate with your ATS to pull your jobs and redirect interested candidates. Our next tool is ProSearch. This is our sourcing tool, which allows you to search Facebook profiles with filtering, ranking, and relevance. You can also download resumes, you can message candidates, and you can see how you're connected to candidates through your company's employees. So we did discuss earlier, you can sign up for a free user profile at identified.com, or just go ahead and let us know if you're interested in a ProSearch subscription by emailing sales@identified.com. As I have mentioned, we are running a 4-month promotional trial for both Talent Link and ProSearch, so let us know if you'd be interested. And that's it for today. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Our next webinar is going to be Employer Branding with Social Media on Tuesday, June 5th, and that'll be at 11 a.m. Pacific time. So thank you, everybody, for joining us. Have a great day.